Yo, what's going on, snipers, and welcome back to our Halifax Raiders Draft Declared franchise mode here in NHL 24. So in last episode, we had our season simulation, and we finished really good again, 54, 25, and 3, and we had, I'd say, our best season yet, because we were the best offensive team and best defensive team. We also had Mauricio Wilm win the Art Ross with 130 points this year, and we had two other 100-point players, those being Lassick and Del Rovere. So our new look top line did really well. We also got some solid production from guys like Ahin, and just the depth scoring in general was very good with this team. Also the fact that we had no minus players, and we also potentially had a Vezina winning goaltender. It was a really good regular season, but obviously we now want this success to translate into the playoffs because it hasn't done that so far. And yeah, Burkov was insanely good, so I'm hoping that he can do that in the playoffs, because if he doesn't, it's definitely going to hurt our team quite a bit. But you can see we're heavily reliant on this top line. There was a big drop-off point-wise, like 50 points almost. But still, like, the depth scoring being as good as it was amazing. We had 3 guys on 30-plus goals. We had a bunch of guys on 15-plus goals. This should be a good year for this team. And if it isn't, this is very concerning, because we are getting already a little bit of drop-off in overall. And in terms of potentials, you can see Vitaly Kolesnik has dropped down to exact top 4, 88 overall. So there is a chance he could be out of the game by the time he's 36, which is not great. So yeah, we definitely need to take advantage of the fact that we have our best roster on paper, and this could be a good chance for us to win a cup. But we might have overestimated during the regular season, and that might be a major problem, because we're running into a very good Florida Panthers team that also had over 50 wins, and they also have a pretty solid roster. Obviously, we played them, I think it was last season, in the first round. We managed to take them out quite easily, but they are getting some good production still from their younger players on the team, those being Peterson and also Gamache, who are really solid. You also have some good complementary pieces like Porter, Lindsay. And you also have these two guys that almost won the Rookie of the Year. Probably Hillman wins the Rookie of the Year, but Courtnall could have won the Rookie of the Year. So they do have some good youth. They also have Vesasalo, who likes to fight a lot. So they do have a bit of physicality in their lineup, which is kind of scary. And then from a defensive standpoint, you can see that Commodore and Whitmore still look very good, as they did when we last played them. They also do have a good goaltender in Gabriel Dagg. So it is going to be an interesting first round for us. Definitely a tough opponent to get our first round for our first round matchup, but I think we might be able to beat them considering we're a better team depth wise. But it is still going to be a very tough matchup considering they had 50 plus wins. So if we win this series, I really hope that we can beat any team that comes in or past after the fact. So anyways, that's that. Let's get into this first round matchup and see if we're able to beat the Panthers. And yeah, next episode would be the last pre-recorded episode. So if we do get to round 2, obviously I'll stop recording at that point, and then you guys can actually give me feedback for the conference finals and cup finals, which is good if we get there, that is, because we got to go through this tough Florida team first. But here we go. Let's see what happens. We have home ice advantage for probably most of the playoffs, but let's see if we can beat the Florida Panthers here in round 1. Come on, boys. Game 1 on home ice. We're keeping the teams the same for now. First period. 1-1. I guess I'll take it. Del Rovere scores first. Pedersen scores for them. Or Peterson, I should say. But Del Rovere had a very good season. We already had him locked up on a 6-year extension that kicks in next season because of the fact I decided to give it to him at the start of the season. And I am glad I did, because I think I probably would have lost him and Lassick this offseason to free agency. But instead, it's likely just going to be Lassick if we are to lose anybody from this top line. Shots are 12-6 in favor of us after 1. It's a 1-1 game. I don't like that they scored on only 6 shots on goal, so hopefully Burkov cannot be a bad goalie in the playoffs after winning potentially a Vezina in the regular season. Let's see if we can get some goals in the second, potentially. Second period. 2-2. I guess I'll take that. Once again, we had the lead, Maddox boys, but Peterson once again has an answer for us. We're out shooting them 25-11, yet it's a 2-2 game, so Burkov's regular season success definitely isn't translating here well in the playoffs so far, because he keeps giving them a chance to get back into this game. So we need to do a better job at, I guess, playing defensively in a sense. I mean, we're limiting their chances, so it's just maybe letting Burkov actually see the puck. Maybe we're screening him too much, something like that, or Burkov is just fighting it a bit. But let's see if we can have a good third period here and win this game. We've had the lead multiple times. Power play for us. We do not score on it, surprisingly. Penalty kill. Nicely done, penalty killers. Good to see the penalty kill working. We're into the final 10 minutes of this third period, still tied at 2. Are we going to overtime in game number 1? Yes, we are. I don't like that we're going to overtime already. You think actually, it kind of makes sense that we'd go to overtime. Like, Florida is a good team, but we're dominating play pretty much. We're out shooting by 16 shots, yet it's an even game. So without their goaltending performance right now, we probably would have already won, but we are going to an overtime in game 1. Let's see what happens. Who wants to be that hero for us? Hopefully it's Mauricio, because he had a great regular season. Come on, Mauricio. And we do win, and it is Mauricio. Let's go. I love it when I shout out which player actually scores. That's amazing. 3-2. The captain gives us the win. Mauricio Wilm, after a really good regular season, trying to will this team to a Stanley Cup because he knows he doesn't have much left in the tank. So Del Rivera from Hamalainen and Lassick, boys from Del Rivera and Wilm from Lassick and Del Rivera. And I think I forgot to move my face last episode, so I'll do that for the next, or not last episode, for last game, or this game. I'll try and do that for the next one. Del Rivera had 3 points in that first game, Wilm the second star, and Peterson the third. Yeah, I'll definitely move my face for this next game over to here because I think I forgot to do that. And Eric Wilson has been injured, so that's our depth defenseman. I didn't remember him being in the lineup, to be honest, so we must have had a defensive injury at the end of the season I forgot about. Oh yeah, Burish. He should be back to full health anyways, and that's not going to be a -3. It wasn't before, right? Yeah, see, it was a glitch. Okay, so that's fine that Eric Wilson got injured because at least we have our guy back from injury. So we have a 1-0 series lead on the Florida Panthers. Let's keep it the exact same going into game number 2. Is an okay first game, but we need a better goaltending performance if possible. So game number 2, still on home ice. Can we take a 2-0 series lead to Florida? That would be amazing if we could do that. First period. And it's 1-0 us. Let's go. Alan Lehman. Pretty good. He had a little bit of a down year this season, so I am glad that he is scoring here in the playoffs. Hopefully he could just at least contribute a bit to the offense to give us better depth scoring. Shots are 10-6 in favor of us, so once again, we're out shooting them after a period. Let's see if we could get a little bit more goals in the second period, and hopefully Dag isn't trying to hold them into this game just like he did last game. Second period, it's 2-2 all of a sudden. They'd had the lead. It was the 2 rookies, or actually no, it wasn't the 2 rookies. Hillman is a rookie, McDonald isn't. Can't remember who that other rookie is on that third line. But he made it 2-1 for Florida, so Florida actually had a lead in the series, and then Mauricio Wilm tied the game up. So Mauricio off to a good start this playoff run. The shots are 21-18 in favor of us. Can we get that lead back in the third period? Come on, boys. Let's get it done. Mauricio's been off to a good start here, and we definitely want to keep on capitalizing on those chances if we can. Penalty kill here in the third period. We killed it off. Nicely done, penalty killers. Final few minutes here of this third period, and we are going to be going to a second straight overtime. Kind of exactly what you would expect, though. 2 juggernaut teams that are pretty close in the standings. It kind of makes sense that we both have like very close games in a way. We are out shooting them though badly, 35-28, so their goaltending has just done the exact same thing as it did last game and hold the minute, which is not great. Can we find a way to win our second straight game in OT? And who wants to be the hero? Let's call on a different guy because I don't know if Mauricio would do it again. Let's call on... trying to think of who I would want to call upon. Let's go with Hamalainen. I don't really know. Well, let's see what happens here. OT underway, and Florida wins early. Luke Misa, of all people. And unfortunately, we're going to have a tie series headed to Florida. I don't really like that too much. We outshot them 38-29, and we lose 3-2. Yikes. Lehman from Kolsnik and Ahinen, and Wilm from Del Rivera and Lassick. But, I don't like that we outplayed them and we still lost, because Gabriel Dag has been probably the best goalie in the series right now. That's not ideal. That is not ideal. Back-to-back games to overtime scenario. Now we need to win at least one game in Florida, or else we put ourselves in a really bad spot. So let's go to edit lines here. Maybe make some adjustments. Like let's try swapping Ahinen and Richter. Yeah, let's do that. Might as well. Defensively, we'll probably keep most of this the same. I don't think there's really much we could do to get this plus in anyway. Oh, there is actually. But I don't know about having Hartnell as a top 6 defenseman, to be honest. He might lose morale because of ice time if I do that. So, it's probably best not to do that. Yeah, I think this is going to work. Yeah, I don't think any of this is going to work, unfortunately. So, we're going to have to keep it the same. Goaltending, Burkov has been He's been mid. I could go to Budens, but I think it's kind of risky doing that. So we'll keep the team the same, pretty much, except for that center change a little bit. Because that top line's been great. I don't really want to separate them. So, and it's a tie series. We could still win these 2 games in Florida. That would be great. But it is going to be a tough task considering both the first games went to overtime. I hope this game doesn't go to overtime too, because that would not be great. But game number 3, we are now heading into Florida. Can we get a win on the road? Because that would be really nice for our confidence a bit. First period of game number 3. And it's 1-0 us. Nice start. Mauricio Wilm again. So Wilm is definitely a man on a mission this year. Really good regular season, and he's already got 3 goals at least in the series. Shots are 16-6, so Gabriel Dag is doing whatever he can to hold his team in this series. He's definitely been, I'd say, Florida's best player at this point in time. Can we find a way to get some insurance in the second and break Dag down quite a bit? Because he should be getting tired facing all these shots, you'd think, over the last 3 games. Second period. 2-2. Why do they always have great second periods? Sale and Lundell gives Florida the lead just like last game, and a late goal from Haken has tied the game up for us. Shots are 24-17 in favor of us, but it's a 2-2 game. This might be another game that goes to overtime and ends in the same score as game 1 and 2, which is not great. Let's see what happens in this third period. Hey, we get the lead right off the bat. It's Ricardo Richter to make it 3-2 in the first few minutes, and Hillman answers right back, but Habscheid answers right back for us. Penalty kill. Nicely done. Bit more offensive game than the last few games for sure, but still very tight this series is. Final 5 minutes of the third period. Can we lock this one down? The answer is yes, we can. We win 4-3 in game 3, and we have taken a 2-1 series lead, outshooting 35-28 at the end of the game. So another game that was only decided by a goal. It's pretty much what you'd expect though with 2 juggernaut teams. Wilm from Lasik and Del Rivera, Haken from Hartman, Ricardo Richter from Lehman and Weber, and Habscheid with technically the game-winning goal from Hamalainen and Ahinen. So that's that third line, actually, I think. Or, no, that's the second line with Ahinen now there. So that's not bad. But all Florida Panthers players are the 3 stars of the game. Let me take a look at some stats. Burkov, yeah, hasn't been the best. But at least we've been able to play relatively consistent. But still, 7 shots on goal for Lasik. Jeez, man. He likes to shoot a lot. But he didn't even score a goal. Okay, I guess we're going to keep the team rolling the same way so far since we still have the lead. But it has definitely been a very close series. Okay. So it is a 2-1 series lead for us. Can we win another game in Florida and set us up for a good scenario? If we lose this game, it's going to be a very tough battle for these last 3 games if that happens. Obviously, if we win this game by more than a goal, that would be a good sign that our offense is finding a way to score on Dag, but right now it's been like very back and forth, so this could go either way here in game 4. Let's see, can we take a commanding 3-1 series lead on the Panthers, or will we have a tie series headed back home? Come on, guys, you can do this. Let's beat them by more than only a goal. First period of game 4. And it's 1-0 us again, and look who it is again. Mauricio Wilm with, I think, his 4th or 5th goal of the series already. So Wilm is definitely trying his hardest this year. As in prior years, there's been rounds where he's just been pretty quiet. But he's off to a really good start this year, which makes me feel like he's definitely a man that's on a mission absolutely to get that Stanley Cup. Because he thinks that this team should have already won one by now. And he says he doesn't want to retire as a non-cup champion. So shots are 11-7 in favor of Florida, but we have a 1-0 lead. So we're actually getting outshot, which is a big surprise. Maybe that's a good thing. So far we've scored 1 goal on Dag on only 7 shots. Can we get some more in the second period? Second period. Still 1-0 us. Okay, so another close game in terms of offense. We're out shooting them now 21-19. But it's still a 1-0 game. Can we get some insurance in this third period here to help us lock this one down? Come on, boys. Let's get that next goal. Power play for us early into the third. We do not score there. Penalty kill against the Panthers. We kill it off. Nicely done. Halfway through this third period, and Michael Porter ties the game up. That's not great, but we do answer back, and it's Hartnell with his first career playoff goal. That's a huge one from Hartnell. Penalty kill late. We killed it off. Final few minutes. Sam Whitmore ties the game up with 1 minute and 5 seconds left. And we're going to overtime again. It's the third time in 4 games. And once again, it's going to be another 1-goal win for whoever wins. This is such a tough series. I feel like whoever comes out of this series is going to be so banged up going into the next round that they might not even have a chance to get past round 2. Which, I mean, would be kind of what we normally are used to anyways. But, jeez, man. Shots are 34-28 in favor of us. It's a 2-2 game. It looked like we were going to win it, but Whitmore gives them a chance in OT. Can we have a big hero for us in overtime? Who do I want to call on? Let's go with Maddox Boys. See if he can win us this game. Let's see what happens. Come on, boys. Let's get that one. Let's get that one. Don't worry about that late goal. Penalty kill in overtime. We killed it off. Nicely done. That's a huge penalty kill. Can we get that next goal? And no, we did not. Michael Porter has ruined us. We lose 3-2. And now it's a best of 3. I hate that they just hang around in these games. And they manage to find ways to win. God damn, man. I wasn't sure who scored in that one, but we could have won it, but we blew it late. Willem from Del Rovere and Lassick. Hartnell from Del Rovere and Lassick. And in that last goal with 1:05, forces overtime, and Michael Porter picks up his second of the game. Yeah, Gabriel Dag has definitely been the best Panther in the series, which is not great. I might have to make some adjustments here. Both of our losses have came in overtime, so at this point in time, we technically could have swept them if we would have won those 2 games in OT, but we didn't. So I am a little bit nervous. And Del Rovere's been fantastic so far. That top line's been great. We got to find a way to win this next game, because that would not be good if we lose this one. So what do we want to do lineup-wise? Let's go back to Lehman, Ahin, and Hamalainen as the second line. Habscheid and Richter will play on the third line. And let's just do a quick swap of Booze and Boys. And Burkov has been actually not terrible, to be honest. So he'll probably stay in net. But this is a big game. It's a kind of a must-win game, because if we lose this one, we need to win 2 in a row, which is possible, but it's also going to be an uphill climb considering Florida's been hanging around in all these games. So if we could get this win, that would be very, very nice. We're back on home ice at least, so that could give us a bit of an edge. But so far, both home games have gone to overtime. So let's see what happens here in Game 5. This is kind of a must-win game. Let's see if we can get that series lead back, or are we going to have to win 2 in a row against the Florida Panthers? We need to score more goals than 1 goal more than them. First period. 2-1 us. Short-handed goal from Haken. I like to see that. Power play goal, though, like 7 seconds later from Austin. But a late goal from Joel Weber has restored the lead. Shots are 10-10 in favor of us, but it is a 2-1 game. Let's see if we could get some insurance, because if we're letting them hang around in these games, that's when we give them an opportunity to win. If we somehow find a way to score like 3 goals in a period, we might be able to lock it down a lot easier. But if they're hanging around, that's when it gets a little bit risky. So let's see if we can get some insurance in the second period. Second period. 2-2. See what I mean? We didn't score there, and they hang around. They tie the game up. Michael Porter with his 3rd goal in the last 2 games. Shots are 21-20 in favor of Florida. We need to find a way to grab that lead back again. This has been such a close series, and I'm kind of scared about it and the results. Power play for us early in the 3rd. We did not score on it. Come on, boys. Let's get that lead. Who wants to be the hero for us here in this 3rd period? Final 5 minutes. Still tied at 2. Power play late. They scored a short-handed goal. Are you kidding me, guys? Whitmore has given them the win with a short-handed third-period goal. We need to make some rapid adjustments. We need to win 2 games in a row. And that was another 1-goal loss. We could have literally won 5 games up to this point. Jeez, that's a bad goal to give up. Why are you guys giving up a short-handed goal in that situation? It feels like it's going from bad to worse with this team. Haken from Del Rivera and Kolsnik, Weber from Habscheid and Richter. We're going to have to make some crazy adjustments here. Gabriel Degg has been very, very dominant every game we played. And every single game of this series has been a 1-goal game. We need to win in Florida to force a Game 7. This has been insane. The AHL team is on to the next round, it looks like. Yep, they swept the Laval Rockets, so at least our AHL team is winning in the playoffs. But we want to win a Stanley Cup. The Calder Cup is okay, but it's still not insane. So let's make some adjustments. We need to find a way to get this team to winning the next game. We're going to go to Richter with Lehman and Hamalainen, Ahinen with Habscheid and Weber. And then we are going to go Hartnell on the top pair instead of Kolsnik. We're going to go to the power play unit here, and we are going to put Hartnell in for Hartman. And we'll see if that helps anything out a little bit with the power play generating a bit more offense. So we'll do that for a little bit of a change. We just got to find something that works and gets this team to doing better. Penalty killers are fine. Oh my goodness. I don't really know what to do. Burkov has been actually not that bad, but I feel like Buden's getting an opportunity might be okay. But is it a bad thing? Let's go with Buden's for a game. Might be a major risk doing that, but we need to change some things up here. Let's go Paco up there instead with Kolsnik, and then boys can play with Burish. Kind of balance out our best defenders. Just try and find something to get us to win. We've been playing decent, but it's just the fact that we let them hang around in games is very questionable. If we're able to win this game, anything can happen in Game 7, but I feel like we might get knocked out here in the first round just because we overstimulated it a tiny bit better than we should have. If we would have finished where Florida is right now, I think we could win a Stanley Cup. I feel like if we lose this, Florida's going to win the Stanley Cup. Whoever comes out of the series could win the cup. But Montreal is on to the next round despite winning the President's Trophy, so there is a chance that they might win the Stanley Cup in the same season that they won the President's. There's only a few series left to end, and let's see if we can force Game 7 here. Real-time simulation. Are we going to have a first-round exit and add to our pile of early exits in a playoff run, or are we going to go to a Game 7 back on home ice? This is a must-win game. I'm going to put my controller completely down, focus intensely on this game. Penalty kill, and we score a short-handed goal of our own. Okay, Maddox boys. That's a big response to their short-handed game winner last game, and Haken makes it 2-0. That's a good start. Much better start than we've had in the last 5 games or so. Del Rivera makes it 3-0. That's the offense and the team that we need to be. We can't let them hang around in games. They do make it 3-1 late, and we got outshot 14-10, but that's a much better start to a game. We usually win games only by a goal, so to have 3 goals already in the first period is a good sign that this could be the first game of the series that some team wins by multiple goals. Now, Florida could still get back into this game, so I don't want to say much about that, but let's see what happens in the second period, see if we get some insurance, just to play it safe. And hopefully we have a good, strong third period, and then we can go to a Game 7 potentially back on home ice, which anything could happen in Game 7. This has been a very back-and-forth series. Penalty kill. Nicely done, guys. Nicely done, and Lassick makes it 4-1. That's a big goal from Lassick to restore the 3-goal advantage. Shots are 25-21. We finally have found a way to score on, I guess, on Degg? Yeah, Degg was in net for all 3 of the first period goals, and now Spencer Knight is in net, which is kind of weird. We should be able to lock this one down here at this rate, but just to play it safe, we're doing real-time simulation. Hartman with his first goal of the playoffs makes it 5-1. This is what we needed from our team. A good offensive game. Hartman scores his second of the night. Lehman makes it 7-1. Hopefully we're not scoring all of our goals in this game. But this kind of came out of nowhere considering how close every other game was. Courtnall makes it 7-2. But we will be going to a Game 7 back on home ice. The first game where it was not a 1-goal difference, we win by 5. Ouchie him 42-26. So a dominant victory. The question is, are we going to be able to win back in Game 7? Because we still got to win that game. So boys from Wilm and Lehman, Haken from Booz and Sergeyev, Del Rivera from Booz and Hartnell, Lassick from Del Rivera and Richter, Hartman from Lassick and Del Rivera, Hartman from Kolsnick and Haken, Lehman from Hamalainen and Richter. A lot of the same type of guys picking up points in that one. 3 points from Del Rivera, quite a few guys on 2 points, 5 guys actually, or 6 guys on 2 points, jeez. A lot of guys on 1 point, a couple guys with no points. Interesting. A lot of +3s as well, which is nice. And yeah, Buden's actually played really good in his first ever playoff game. I could play him again, but I feel like it's a major risk playing him for multiple straight games. So I don't really know if I'm going to play him next game. You know, he was good. Because he could be all of a sudden really bad. But we are going to a Game 7 back on home ice. Will the winner of the series actually win the Stanley Cup is the question. Because I feel like this is probably the toughest round we've had in the first round before. So we are fighting through adversity here. Let's go back to edit lines here. See if this is the team we want to run with. I think so. Yeah, and then we go back with Burkov. Because even though Budens is good, got to go back to Mateo. He was actually playing pretty well as well. Yeah, I think we'll go with this. Yep. Okay, we're good and ready to go. We're going into a Game 7. We just won 7-2. Did we score all of our goals in that game and now we're not going to score in Game 7? Or are we going to the second round where we've never been outside of that before? So let's see what ends up happening. Here we go. Game 7 on home ice for all the marbles. It's been a very close series. Can we beat Florida and get ourselves to the next round after a dominant victory in their home building? We open the scoring, Hamalainen, that's a big goal early on, but they haven't answered as they normally do. Earl Lindsay. I don't like that we're being outshot here early, but Maddox Boys makes it 2-1. That's a huge goal from Mad Boys. He's been starting to score a little bit here over the last 2 games, which is nice. Final few minutes of this first period, and it's going to be a 2-1 lead for us after 20 minutes. Shots are 15-12 in favor of Florida. So that is a decent start, but obviously it looks like it might be trending back towards those games where it was very close. Obviously, we need to have a better second period in those games, though, because those second periods is where we've let them hang around too much. So we need to put them to bed in the second period if we possibly can. Second period underway. And they score immediately, Earl McDonald or whatever his name is, but Del Rivera has an answer. Let's go Del Rivera. He's been definitely our best player here so far in the playoffs. Him and Willem. Penalty kill. Nicely done, guys. It's a huge penalty kill there. Still up by a goal. Can we get some insurance, please? Because a 1-goal lead is very, very nerve-wracking. And they tie it up again, McDonald. And they get the lead. See, we let them hang around way too long. We're trailing going into the third because we'll give up 2 goals in the final 2 minutes. Maybe I should have went back to Budens again. But who knows, maybe he wouldn't have done good in this game. But come on, guys. We allowed 3 goals in that second period. What's with our second periods being always really bad? Real-time simulation, third period. We need that next goal. And we get it immediately to start the third period in Hartman as well. That's a great start to the third period. Jeez, man, this game is going to give me like an insane heart attack. Del Rivera 6-4. 3 quick goals. Hamline at 7-4. Oh, what a third period. That's exactly what this team needed. And we're going to be going back to the second round, it looks like, after the Florida Panthers gave us maybe a major scare 7-5 all of a sudden, and that will be your final. We do score 7 goals in our last 2 games of the series. And yeah, we're going back to the next round. We outshot them 32-31. Holy crap, man. That was a very close series. So shout out to the Florida Panthers for a very fun series, but hopefully we can get out of the second round now. Hopefully we're not too bumped up. So Hamalainen from Hartnell and Lehman, Boys from Hamalainen and Lehman, and then Del Rivera from Lassick and Wilm. Then we fell apart a little bit late, but we managed to have a strong third period. scoring 2 goals in the first, a minute 29. Lehman from Hamalainen and Richter, Hartman from Sergeyev and Hartnell, Del Rivera from Lasik and Ahinen, and Hamalainen from Lehman. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. 3 stars of the game, Hamalainen with 4 points, Lehman a second star with 4 points, and Del Rivera the third star with 2 goals. Let's go. That depth scoring is doing pretty well. I like it. So yeah, every game was a 1-goal game, and then we scored randomly 7 goals in each of our last 2 games. So our offense has been fantastic so far, and defense hasn't been too bad either, except for that game 7, I'd say. But let's take a look at our player stats after round 1, and we'll see who we're going up against in round 2. And if it's Montreal, it's going to be a very tough one, considering they just won the President's Trophy. But Wilm on 7 points in 7 games, he was pretty damn good. Richter on 5 points is good. Hartman on 4 points is good. And Ahinen on 3 points is better than before. He was -3 and had 8 penalty minutes, which is unlike him, I think. But still, not a bad first round from our centers. Lasik was great. Only 1 goal, which is kind of surprising. But he was a little bit snake-bitten in terms of shots, I think. 10 points still is really good. Lehman on 8 points is great. Hamalainen on 7. Hagen on 4. Habscheid on 2. And Weber on 2. But couple guys in our bottom 6, very bad plus minuses, it looks like. Del Rivera on 13 points and a +7 was fantastic. Sergeyev on 2 points, not bad. Defensively, Hartnell had 4 points and was a +9, so getting him into the lineup and getting rid of Sidu might have been a very good thing for this team. Boys, 3 goals is pretty solid. Kolesnik, 3 points. Booz on 2 points and a +10. That's fantastic. And then you had Wilson on only a +1 in 1 game. Burrish had no points, was -1, and Paco was -2. So a couple guys minus, but that's not the biggest problem in the world. And yeah, Burkov was not very good. I mean, most of his games he could have won, but his save percentage wasn't great, really. Budens was probably the better of the two, but we'll likely still start with Burkov next round. So there's our stats. Now the question is, who do we play in round 2, and is it another tough team? If it's Montreal, it's going to be a very tough time. But it is going to be Montreal. Oh boy. This would be the ultimate win for us if we're able to get past them. Kind of sucks that I have to pre-record next episode in a way, because I want you guys being like, oh boy, this could be an interesting matchup. But oh boy, Montreal 58, 16 and 8 during the regular season, coming off of a President's Trophy. Can we give them the curse knockout in the second round? Get ourselves to a conference finals versus either the Rangers or the Penguins. Obviously, the Rangers are the defending Cup champions with Owen Gove, so that's a bit scary. I don't know how Pittsburgh is. So Winnipeg, Chicago, Calgary, and Nashville. But let's take a look at Montreal. Comparison regular season wise and playoff wise so far. And then we'll take a look at their rosters. So, yeah, they won the President's Trophy. Let me actually just go Eastern Conference, make it a little bit easier to visualize. Yeah, see, we're literally going through every team that's kind of around us in the standings, because if we beat Montreal, we have to go up against one of these 2 tough teams. Both of them finished above us in the standings, so we're not going to have home ice advantage until the Cup Finals if we get there at this rate. So the Montreal Canadiens didn't score as much goals as us. They were very good defensively, but not as good as us. Their power play was worse than ours, and their penalty kill was worse than ours. So technically we were better in every single thing, but they just had a better season in terms of winning games, which is kind of weird. They won 58, we won 54. Let's take a look at their playoff stats right now. So if we go Eastern Conference and sort this by wins, you can see they won their first round in 5 games, scoring 4.6 goals per game. But their defensive play wasn't that great. So they're a very good offensive team, not so much defensive here, at least in the playoffs. We have not scored a power play goal so far, so that's a bit questionable, but they have had a good power play. Their penalty kill hasn't been good, ours has. Okay. Huh. What does their roster look like? Is it similar to the teams we've played in the past with, like, Berkeley Catan? I think it was. I don't know if Caulfield's even still playing. I think he might have retired by now, but I can't remember, to be honest. Let's see. Okay, so yeah, it looks like Cole Caulfield is gone now from Montreal, which is good. But they do still have Malcolm Spence, Berkeley Catan, and Kenny Hines. Very good top line. They also have a second line of Rudolph Niederberger Magnus Brodin and Slavkovsky still there at 36. So very good top 6. The third line, Quinton Musty, Vladimir Novikov, and Topi Herme. And a fourth line of Aaron Stoll, Dmitry Samsonov, and Noel Bieksa. Yeah, that's a very good forward core. Good depth throughout each position. Pretty much the center depth a little bit weaker, but still very good when you have Berkeley Catan. Defensively, they are a little bit weak. Matthew Poirier, David Reinbacher, Jerome Talbot, Raphael Powell, what a name, Par Enquist, and Franklin Goddard. So yeah, a little bit weak on the defensive front. Looks like Goddard might be actually losing morale because of ice time. Yeah, because he's only a 73 yet he's listed as a top 6 role, so he must be just losing morale or something. Goaltending wise, their goaltending improved since we last played them. Ernesto Cursillo, who they drafted, I guess. Yeah, he's only in his second season. He's been a pretty good goalie so far. His playoff numbers, not so much. But they do also have Tucker Perreault, who is the goaltender that beat us multiple times in the playoffs before. And they do have 2 injuries. Weston Tuzolino, who's only 21. They also have Dimitri Kennins, who's injured. Okay. And Zachary Raymer. Hopefully that means we don't get EA cheesed because they have a Raymer. But let's take a look at their injuries. See how long those guys are out for, because that could help us if those guys aren't going to be returning. I mean, in general, they still have a very good roster, but how long are those guys injured for? Sprained ankle for Tuzolino. He will be back on the 3rd, and Kennins has herniated discs. Oh boy. So Kennins will not be returning this playoffs, which is good for the defensive side of things. But Tuzolino out till May the 3rd means he will be back in this second round. But I don't know if he's going to be huge of an addition to their lineup once he's back. Like, actually, I didn't want to go to edit lines. I want to take a look at their lines again, see where he would slot in when he returns. Because I think he would be fitting in on like their 3rd or 2nd line potentially. So they might be a little bit better once they get him back, but I don't think it's going to be a substantial upgrade. What position was he again? Right wing. Okay, so he probably would knock Herme out of the lineup, which definitely does make the right side a little bit stronger. So they probably do it tight, like improve by a little tiny bit, but not by a drastic amount. So yeah, that's that. And that's going to do it, guys, for this episode of our Halifax Raiders Draft Glory franchise mode. So in next episode, we will take it to the 2nd round against the President's Trophy winning Montreal Canadiens as we look to get redemption on them from all the years past. And hopefully get ourselves to a conference finals against another tough team in either the Rangers or the Penguins. So anything down below, and I'll see you guys next time.